looked right at it. Are we in?
Yeah, we're in, dude. I'm waiting for you. Intro song still working on it.
Try one. You try it.
We are on a dinner cruise. Pretty good.
We always try to go out of our range.
I know. Like I'm Ariana Grande with the high thing. Welcome back to the Unidentical Podcast with David Collings and Jason Collings. Please.
Whoa, top billing.
Yep, you're top billing, dude. Top billing and willing. Please make sure that you rate and review at Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And on, if you want to look at our beautiful faces, instead of just listening to us, check us out on YouTube at The Identical Pod. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when a new ep is coming at you. And again, coming soon, website, coming soon, merch, it's happening. You guys are going to love it. And again, to everybody that supported that first episode, thank you so much. A lot of comments, a lot of likes, nothing negative, all positive, which
nice.
I'm shocked because, evil lives on the internet. But thank you guys so much for that. And here we are for episode 2. Told you, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing this. But we need those likes. We need those comments. We need the rating, and we need reviews. That definitely helps with the algorithms. So continue to do that. And thank you guys so much. Dave.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
I'm good.
Did you watch and listen to the first episode?
Yes.
How'd you feel about it?
It was okay. People seem to like it, so I'll trust them.
How do you feel? Like, what do you, because I wanted to know basically, were you watching yourself?
Yeah, I looked up a lot.
Were you like, I suck?
I kept doing this for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, there's a teleprompter on the ceiling with all the answers.
I'm not used to seeing all the stuff, so, but yeah.
We were just talking about, off camera, we were talking about they're building a big Star Wars spaceship downtown LA by USC.
I looked at a picture of it though. It doesn't really, it's a museum.
That's shaped like a spaceship.
Okay, because Lucas put it there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all Lucas is good for.
Spaceships and
all he's
creatures,
good for is
yeah.
spaceships and Muppets. That's it.
Disney owns the Muppets now, too.
And what's on Disney?
Star Wars.
Yeah. The Muppets.
I'm quizzed.
Yeah, that one episode of there was a couple episodes of The Mandalorian that I was kind of annoyed with because it was like a puppet show.
Yeah, you called me. You're like, "What's with the puppet show?"
Did Jim Henson do this one?
Yeah, but you're watching Ahsoka though.
I am watching Ahsoka.
That one is amazing.
It's very good. That
one's
very, very cool. Very visually amazing. One of the things that I like with the new stuff, with the new Star Wars stuff, is that you probably know this, whoever's directing it,
David Filoni,
is killing it because, one of the things that a lot of people said and say is that Lucas wasn't really good with directing the actors. And that's why if you watch the original 3 from the 70s and early 80s, it's a lot of really bad acting. It's really bad.
Right.
But visually, it's incredible what they did.
Right.
But now it's like Rosario Dawson's killing it with that weird hat.
It's not a hat.
Why is she wearing that hat? Is it people from her planet? Did they wear that hat?
I forgot it starts with a T, what she is, and it's part of her head, man.
Wasn't it Bib Fortuna was one of the characters with the...
Yeah, he's I think they call him Twi'leks or something like that.
Who knows?
The latest episode.
I did.
Ahsoka?
Oh, yeah. But no spoilers because some people might not.
Huh?
Yeah. And it was basically like watching a live action episode of
I didn't watch this
Clone Wars. Yeah. It was awesome, man.
I did not see that one.
Yeah, it did. And he even used he used her nickname that he would use, right. Snips. He called her Snips.
See, I'm still on the episode before that when he shows up at the end.
Right. Yeah, and all the dorks on the internet like myself were like trying to zoom in on what lightsaber he had. Was it going to be the was it going to be the blue one or the the red one?
Like a virgin. Hey.
Yeah, I get into all that stuff, but I don't read up on it. I don't.
Yeah, you're not you're not overly nerdy about it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's his? Okay, that's all I need to know. But don't you want to know where he got it? And sure, I'll watch that, but I don't want to hear it from you or your article. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't get that, dive that deep into it, but I just enjoy if it's Star Wars-y, then I like it.
That's why those dorks that are like, the second trilogy doesn't exist in my world. Like that, you're a dork. Yeah. If it's Star Wars, it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yes, the Gungans or whatever they were called, they were annoying as hell.
Yeah, but a lot of stories. Yeah, but for stories,
that's a pretty good. That was a good impression.
It was. I was. But for stories, I'm saying for like stories and things that people really love those 3 because of so much that came out of them.
Came out of those. Yep.
I think the thing that bugs me the most is you just can't really keep up unless you're watching the cartoon. You're watching like every little piece.
And that's what I mean. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
And they had a piece last night where they were with stormtroopers fighting against Mandalorians, and I'm going, what?
Right. That was a thing from that's a thing from the Siege of Mandalore. It's this whole thing. And again, like the hardcore guys.
I love how
man.
he says I don't really read that much into it, but he just literally knows everything.
Well, yeah, but some people can tell you when in the timeline and
The names
why
of all the
and-
soldiers.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm not into that. I mean, I am. I mean, it's cool. I think it's great, but I don't dive that deep into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can tell you don't dive deep into it at all. Another cool thing about that first episode is we had a lot of comments on from people in our generation talking about the toys that they had and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That was really pretty cool.
Right. I noticed
pretty
one of the
cool.
comments said they got their bike at Zodi's, which is a store that was up the street from our house.
Yep.
I was going to mention Zodi's. I
Yeah.
was also going to mention Gemco.
Gemco, yeah.
Jimco, Zodi's, Fedmart.
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 Yeah.
That's where Fedmart is where my brother and I saw
Vader.
Darth Vader in person. He did an appearance at Fedmart for the Christmas season.
It
And
was
my dad
pretty
took us.
cool.
It was amazing because everybody's waiting in line to see him, right? And of course we were. How old were we? 8.
At that point, yeah, probably about 8 years
So
old.
anybody was just 9 feet tall to us. But then over the speaker system of the store, they started playing that march. What
The
are they
Imperial
called?
March,
The
yeah.
Imperial March. Dun, 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 dun. And we could literally see his head
Over the
walk
aisles.
over the aisles. It was
neat.
pretty intimidating. Like
And we were a little scared. I
we were very
remember.
scared. Well, you and I were scared of our own shadows for a very long time. Like we didn't really take advantage of like sitting there and taking. We walked up, said hi, and we jetted. We were so scared.
Right.
Which I had a full circle moment with. That is my wife and I took pictures with Darth Vader at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And this time I bantered with him.
Yeah, remember he asked you, "Are you still a pussy?" Remember he asked you? No.
Yeah.
He remembered you from Fedmart.
Not
Remember?
really. I'm just scared, okay? I was afraid of the Empire. I was more afraid of his boss. I know that sounds very layman to call him his boss.
Right.
The guy that they
Emperor Palpatine, yeah.
they regenerated him for the newer movies. Remember they?
Oh, you're talking about
Moff
Yeah, Moff Tarkin.
Tarkin. Yeah.
Oh my
Fran
gosh.
Tarkington.
What's that actor?
Talking about Fran
Classic
Tarkington.
actor.
Played for the Minnesota Vikings.
Cushing. Peter Cushing.
Peter
He
Cushing.
was like a real theater actor.
Knew you knew it.
and all that. Yeah.
Knew you knew it.
But yeah. Speaking of being afraid of everything, you know how we were also talking about difference in generations, like kids now. You know, I always talk about that and how it was different when we were. I noticed something today when I was driving home from the gym. I drove past Bixby Elementary School, which is an elementary school that we attended.
Right. Looks like a prison now. It's got bars all over.
Well, dude, but I drove past at a point where some kids were getting out, and just the wave of parents descending onto the school was so strange to me. I was
They
like,
need to hold their hands all the way
what
to the
the
car.
heck? Like
yeah.
when we got out of school, there were maybe a few parents parked on the street in their car.
Right, but
Like,
most
let's
of
go,
us-
hurry up! I got to get to work. you
Most
know?
of us walked and rode our bikes to school.
Yeah, and just I mean, it was a wave of people like coming onto this school. I couldn't believe that. Yeah,
There was so many creeps back then too. Remember the guy that hit me on purpose with his car?
yeah, I do remember that.
So we're walking home from school or riding our bikes, and I'm on the sidewalk, and we come up to where the grocery store is, and there's the outlet from the parking lot onto the street, and I stop for this old guy. I remember the car. He was driving a 1964 Chevrolet. It was the Impala, but the 4-door version, which is a Biscayne, maybe,
Biscayne, I think, with
or a Bel Air. And he does one of these. He goes, "Go ahead," and he like waves me to go.
He did.
And as soon as I got in front of his car, he gassed it, and he hit me.
Just to kind of a bump, just to
Bumped me onto my, and then said something and drove away.
Yeah.
And here's the difference between today. One of the difference between today and then. I thought I would get in trouble. I never told my parents until like years later because I thought I would get in trouble.
That was kind of a thing when we were kids. If an adult did something, they're like, "Well, what'd you do to deserve it?"
Yeah, what'd you do to deserve it? You fucked up. You did something. You did something.
Wow.
Back in the days when you can, spank the neighbors.
Right.
Oh yeah, when we were in grade school, grammar school, elementary school, some people call it. We still were in the time where the principal had a paddle,
Oh yeah.
and there were paddleable offenses. There was things that you could do that got you the paddle,
Yeah.
and it had a hole in it, holes in it. So like when they got you with it, you had these whelps on your skin.
And
God,
that way
I
it
miss
could
those
zip through
days,
the air
man.
quicker.
We should just keep beating the crap out of these kids, you know?
Yeah. Man.
It's like a true crime story. It's like the beginning of a true crime story. He was just a principal at the local junior high school. And then they find out he's got a fetish. He likes to paddle kids with a cricket paddle.
You know, though, that's one of the areas where you and I are identical. We both are way into true crime.
Oh, true crime is my jam. True crime, I love it so much. I mean, I listen to it so much to where my wife is like, oh, can we please just listen to something more upbeat?
Are you gonna kill somebody?
Yeah. Are you studying?
Yeah, man. I'm always into it.
But it is one of those things where you can learn how to commit the perfect crime by listening to all these things, because you find out how all these people get caught. Also, hey, murderers, stop texting about it.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, murderers, check your history on your computer.
I don't get that, how they save everything on their laptops. And I'm like, wait, what?
Hey, murderers, stop going to Walmart where they're filming every aisle and buying your murder kit.
Yeah, seriously. Imagine going into like Lowe's on an April Fool's Day and just picking out.
We need to do that.
All the stuff. And then like if one of the customer service person walks by, one of us opens like one of those floor fridges, see if you fit in it. See if you can fit in it.
Yeah. Or the girl walking by, miss, excuse me.
Oh, God.
How tall are you? How much do you weigh? Can you step in here for me,
That's
please?
horrible. But yeah, I always thought that'd be a funny April Fool's thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, how does this work? How long? What's the oxygen
levels? You're just putting like duct tape up on the counter. You got the big freezer. You got duct tape, zip ties, plastic bags.
Painters. What's the stuff you lay down?
Right.
Yeah. Tarps and shit.
And then just ask the person to check out if they sell ski masks. You guys sell baklavas? You guys sell, or whatever the balaclavas, whatever those things are called, baklava.
They're like, sir, why are you buying that mask? COVID. What are you talking about? I'm being very careful. Being very careful. Being very careful. Yeah. I was listening to. An episode of 2020 yesterday, and one of the detectives, when she was talking about when they found the body, she's like, my first thought was like, damn CSI. Damn it, CSI, because you're teaching people how to commit the perfect crime, because this body that they found, all the teeth were removed. There goes the dental records. All the fingertips were cut off. There goes the fingerprints. Like somebody was trying to commit the perfect crime. Right. They did do a DNA analysis. Thing is with the DNA stuff is it's come so far so quickly. Yeah. Like you can, like the guy, they just caught the Long Island serial killer. You hear about this guy, Rex Heuermann? Heuermann, they just caught this guy, and he's been killing girls in Long Island and dumping them in the beach for years. The way they got his DNA is they followed him, because they got a couple of tips that led them to this guy, but you need... they say you need a lot more than circumstantial evidence. You need, solid evidence. Right. Like, we need to get DNA from this guy, because they found DNA in hairs on the victims, right? So what they did is they camped out of in front of his office. He was an architect, and he had his firm and office in Manhattan. Okay. And he lives in Massapequa, which is like a 15-minute drive from the beach where they found all the girls, right? So they're waiting outside of his office, and sure enough, he walks out with a pizza box and throws it in the trash, and the cops descended on the trash can, and sure enough, there were pizza crusts in the box.
Wow!
And they did the DNA, and they said it was a pretty good match.
Whoa!
And then
wait. Pretty good.
I don't know how it works, but it was like a match. It was heavy. Right. And they have video of them descending on him in Manhattan when he was like just walking down the street. You gotta understand, this dude is intimidating. He's huge. This guy is 6'7"? This Rex Heuermann he's 6'7" and like 300 pounds. He's a giant man, and he's
I see a picture of him.
Do you have a picture of Rex? So yeah, and he looks, dude. They describe him. One of the victims, friend, saw. This is how they got the lead. One of the girls that went missing and that they found. They found 4 girls on the beach, and they called them the Gilgo Four.
That's okay. Okay, that's what I thought we were talking about, right?
That's exactly
that
what we're
word,
talking about.
right?
Yeah, Gilgo Beach, and one of the 4 girls, her roommate / best friend, this dude saw him. They used to run this game on her Johns, right, where she would invite him to their house, and then the roommate guy would burst in and pretend he was a jealous boyfriend so that the John would leave, but then they kept the money.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So one of the nights, this Rex Heuermann guy showed up, and when he walked in, they were just like, "Holy shit, this guy's huge!" But they still ran the game. He took off, and he saw the car that he got in, and it was like a dark green Chevy Avalanche, and this Rex Heuermann guy has that, and So that's kind of how they started following this guy around.
Wow.
But these 4 girls are his victims. And I'm sorry, I think there's more. Because the bushes and bramble out there off the beach, you could hide something in there and never find it.
Wow.
The way it all started was there's this one girl, Shannon something, can't remember her name. She's the one that started all of it. They made a movie about her. There was a whole movie about this whole thing.
Okay.
And she went missing, and that's kind of how. And so when they went looking for her body, because she called 911. And said where she was and all this stuff. And well, she didn't really know exactly where she was, but the 911 call is crazy. Like she's like, help, these guys are trying to kill me, blah, blah, blah. So they went looking for her,
Right.
found a body, and then were like, this ain't her, this is someone else.
Oh.
And then they found like 4 more bodies.
Damn.
Then they found a girl, and then they found this child who happened to be one of the other bodies, kids, dude. It's like a dumping ground for this serial killer guy.
And they think it's this.
Right. The only thing that sucks is that there was all kinds of like corruption in the police department out there, so it took years for them to finally get their shit together and get it solved. But the thing that's crazy is the one girl that they found, the girl that started it all, they finally found her, but then they determined her death was an accident.
Weird.
And her parents were like, no, she was killed because there's no way, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I am in 100% on this.
Is there a documentary?
There's several.
Okay.
The killing fields of
Gilgo. I just know that where I've.
it's the Long Island serial killer is one of them. Long Island serial killer.
All right.
And then there's a couple of them. What the heck is the movie? Then there's a Netflix movie based on it.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the movie was made before that they discovered a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they discovered after they made the movie.
All right.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. And that's my shit.
Another thing with true crime that I have a hard time with, though, is the unsolved mysteries. I want to see it solved.
Yeah, like there's no ending
see
to
a
the
wrap
episode.
up. I want to, yeah.
Yeah.
The unsolved ones, I'm like,
hang him. You want to see him hung.
right.
Hang this fucking guy. Yeah.
That's so American of us. We always need everything to wrap up in a nice bow.
Yeah, we need a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yep.
I feel set up if I don't get that in. I feel like I had sex but didn't come. Is that gross?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Another thing that I'm following on the whole true crime thing is this whole Danny Masterson thing. If you guys don't know who Danny Masterson is, he's an actor from that show, That 70s Show. It was him, Ashton Kutcher, Topher. What's his last name?
Grace.
Nope.
Topher.
Is it Topher Grace?
Pretty
Sounds like a crime novelist.
Yeah, it's him.
It was Topher, him, Danny Masterson, and Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Mm-hmm.
They were all on the show, That 70s Show. Mm-hmm. Well, Danny Masterson is a lifelong Scientologist.
This is what fascinates me. That's why this whole thing fascinates me, is because of the whole Scientology thing. I think that is the strangest, most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
It is a 100% a cult run by a teeny tiny little man named David Miscavige. He's the lead guy. He took over when L. Ron Hubbard passed away. Which, by the way, your religion started by a dude named Ron.
Right. Yeah.
Yo, this guy Ron, and the thing is with L. Ron Hubbard, he was a science fiction author.
Sci-fi writer. Yeah.
He was a sci-fi writer, and he wrote a bunch of weird science fiction stuff. And then he decided to start a religion. And then when he died, his little dwarfy friend David Miscavige, I say that because he's 5'0". Like if you guys know that Tom Cruise is what, 5'3", 5'4"?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, if you see Miscavige standing next to him, Tom Cruise looks like a basketball player.
He's smaller.
He's just a little guy. And they're both typical little guys where they ride around on those little crotch rocket motorcycles. And just like, Tom Cruise has to constantly prove his manhood by jumping out of things and flying things and driving things.
Yeah.
But Miscavige, this guy, David Miscavige, and then of course he fought for years to make it an actual religion. So now they're tax exempt and all that stuff. But if you fuck up in this religion, like if you're found doing something wrong or talking shit about them, they end up calling you what they call an SP, a suppressive person, and they shun you. Like you can never see your family again. You're out.
So, because right now we're probably shunned.
We were never Scientologists, so hey, fuck them. Yeah, hey weirdos, hey, enjoy. Like, what do they say when they're orgasming? Oh my god, Tom! Like, what do they say?
Ron,
oh science,
Dianetics.
Give me it, Ronnie. Give me Ron, oh my Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise was quoted as saying once, Scientology goes like this: L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige, and me, depending on who you ask.
Right.
He's super high up
Yeah. Yeah.
in this. I'm going to get back to the Danny Masterson stuff, but I love Travolta. He's in that shit. He's in for good. He's in there. A lot of people. Here's what I was going to say about that. I'm glad you brought John Travolta up, because a lot of people say the reason Travolta doesn't want to come out of it is because they got some shit on him. Like
Right.
they know he's a gay guy, which
Who cares?
everybody knows, and who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, gay, right? I like dicks now. You know, I'm a gay guy. Whoa. But yeah, there's some rumors that like he was really handsy. Remember the movie Wild Hogs, where where him and Tim Allen and
Where they were the motorcycle
were the
guys.
motorcycle guys.
Yeah.
Apparently he was really handsy with those guys, the other actors. Like
Ew.
there was a thing where he would purposely leave his motorcycle somewhere after lunch so that he would have to ride on the back of the other ones with one of the other cast members.
creep.
Just a rumor. I'm just saying it's, you could speculate. But anyways, they're saying things like, oh, they have crazy dirt on these guys, which
Right.
I don't think is true. Here's what I think it is. Those two guys, John Travolta and Tom Cruise, they're at a level in Scientology where they're not fucking around with these low guys.
Yeah.
In other words, they're treated like kings. They're treated like kings. Their life is incredible because of these people.
Yeah.
They have tons of free labor because the members of this, there's this part of Scientology called the Sea Organization, then they call it Sea Org.
Yeah.
And Sea Org members work for the company. They make $47 or $46 a week,
Jeez.
no matter what they're doing.
And they dress them up like a military.
Oh,
of
it's
some
so
sort.
dumb.
They all
They
look
like-
like Captain Stubing.
Yeah, they all
You know what I mean?
look like the cast of the Love Boat.
Yeah.
Where's Gopher?
Yeah.
Good. That was a good pull. God damn it.
Love.
So when Tom Cruise
and new.
needs a remodel on one of his rooms in his house or a stereo system installed or some shit like that, he gets these guys to do it.
So
for next
instead of
to
pulling up
fucking
to
nothing.
Home Depot, he just pulls up to the Celebrity Center.
Yep, pulls up the Celebrity Center and just grabs a couple of the fucking Scientologists off the curb.
Wow.
But yeah, and so that's why. I think the reason they don't want to leave is because they're just treated like fucking kings. However, I've been watching and listening to things, and I heard of late, recently, that Tom Cruise is kind of pulling away. Because it's goofy as shit. It's
I saw
really
him being
goofy.
weird and creepy with Shakira. Did you see that?
He's
thing?
weird and creepy with a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's an actress, I can't remember her name, Middle Eastern woman, very beautiful girl. They were setting her up to be the next Tom Cruise girlfriend after, what's her name from Dawson's Creek took off with the kids? Yeah,
Right.
Katie Holmes. And it didn't work out, and she got punished. And they had her like at the Celebrity Center or wherever she was living at the time, like scrubbing bathroom floors with a toothbrush and shit like that. Dude, they're crazy. Little Davy M, the leader, the little tiny leader dwarf guy.
Oh,
The
right.
head elf of Scientology. Apparently, he like beats people up and jumps people and shit, and no one does anything about it because this guy's powerful and in money, and they're all brainwashed. They're brainwashed as fuck. But what happens is you get brainwashed early, and then you're hit with the shit at the end. Like they have these levels called OT,
Right.
operating Thetan is what it stands for. Yeah, I've been watching a shit ton of this stuff. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love a good train wreck, and this is hilarious because I was all in on that Nixium cult shit too. I was watching all that stuff
Dude,
with those
that
guys.
one was so weird.
And the guy that ran Nixium, he copied a lot of the Scientology
Yeah.
shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, OT, the levels. When you get to a certain level is when you learn the history of where this religion came from.
Right.
And it's so beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like one of his sci-fi books.
It's like a sci-fi book. There's this overlord god Xenu that lived 75 million years ago that did all this crazy shit, and when the people tried to escape the planet, he installed soul catchers in the sky. Dude, it's ridiculous. And the funniest part is I was watching
Are they still there?
with the soul catchers.
Yeah. Is this like a thing that's in place now?
Dave, it doesn't exist.
No, I know in their minds. I mean, to them,
It's not.
Are they trying to say that it's like so like a
Yeah.
like a
Well,
person?
no
is-
one. That's my point of view too. They don't talk about that weird shit to the new guys.
Oh,
Who the fuck would join that if they're like, okay, here's what we're
Right.
about?
Right.
You know, who would join that? I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're just kind of.
I'd do it for a laugh, for like the bit.
Right. But then you're scrubbing bathrooms.
But then I'm
with a
scrubbing bathroom
toothbrush.
floors with a toothbrush. Yeah, they sneak people out of there in trunks when they try to escape because there's a lot of people that are ex-Scientologists, like Leah Remini.
Yeah.
She has a whole bunch of shows and documentaries and podcasts where she's like,
with that guy who talks funny, right?
Mike Render.
Yeah.
I know all these fucking guys.
Yeah.
I'm in. So one thing that I was watching, there's this guy that has a YouTube channel. What is it called? blown
Money?
for good or something like that. No, not blown for money, blown for good. He quit Scientology because he saw the South Park episode that made fun of it.
Oh, that's
If you've
amazing.
watched this episode, they
Dude.
talk. It's this whole thing where they're talking about Lord Xenu and all.
Oh,
this
that's
stuff.
right. And they put on the screen, they really believe this.
Yeah, on the episode, every screen it had in down closed caption or whatever, it said, "This is what Scientologists actually believe."
Yeah.
So he's watching this as a Scientologist, and he's at a certain level where he's never heard these crazy stories. So he's laughing, but his wife, who's in the room as well, she's at that next level, right? So he looks at her with like sarcastically, "Is this what it's? Is this what it really is?" Straight face, she looks at him and goes, "Pretty much."
That's
And he's
nuts.
like, "I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out." There's other people that leave when they find out that this $46 a week thing is not normal and it's fucking slave labor.
Well, see, let me ask you, where do these people that are being paid $46 an hour, where are they coming from?
They're born into it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You understand? This has been around since the early 60s, late 50s. It's been around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he ended up writing the Dianetics thing, and it's just so sad. But
Remember
like,
those commercials on every other commercial when we were a kid?
yeah, Dianetics.
Yeah,
by
there-
L. Ron Hubbard.
Every TV show had two commercials, one about Dianetics and one about the current production of Avita. That's the
Yes.
that was always
Yes.
yeah.
So now we got a little bit of background of what kind of fucking organization this Danny Masterson guy grew
Right,
up in.
back to
So
him.
he's already a fucking box of nuts. This guy's already a fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
Now he was the curly-haired kid that had the sunglasses.
yeah,
kinda,
he was the
right?
weakest link on the cast, in my
Right,
opinion.
exactly. Yeah.
But he has apparently, I was gonna say allegedly, but he just lost in court. He got 30 years to life in prison, which means in 30 years they'll consider paroling him, but he'll be 76 years old or something like that.
Look at this picture of Ashton. My God.
He
plotting
basically had raped some other Scientologists, these girls, like brutally.
right.
And the girls did what they thought was the right thing to do. They went to their Scientology leaders and told them and reported it. Apparently they got punished and they were told not to tell anybody else. This happened years ago. Well, then it just came out and he lost and shit. So then here's the Ashton Kutcher spin on it. You guys have all seen it in the news that him and his wife, Mila Kunis, are they're under attack and they're getting hated on because they apparently wrote letters in support of Danny Masterson to the judge.
Okay.
Telling the judge what a super wonderful, great guy he is. The guy that just got, arrested and sentenced for brutal rape.
Right.
And they were told, from what I heard, they were told that the letters wouldn't go public. But why the fuck wouldn't they? Somebody's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's always a fucking rat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so they got ratted out, and the letters became public. And now they did this weird apology video. This seemed very scripted. A lot of people are saying that Scientologists wrote Ashton's, apology. I don't think Mila Kunis is much into the Scientology thing. And
Look at his picture. That looks like a Hogwarts class picture.
crazy as shit. Look at that. Oh my God, it does look like a Hogwarts class picture.
It's like a yearbook picture
That's
from
fucking
Gryffindor or something.
My God. So,
Those are PR people who leaked it.
100%.
Guess what you're talking about today?
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, right.
That's
But now he's getting all this shit press. He's having a fucking PR nightmare because now all this past stuff is coming up. So one of the Jane Does, and I can't remember her name, but she's being named now because she's allowed it, tweeted at Ashton and said, "Hey, buddy, I know your secrets. I got the recordings, blah, 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 blah."
Whoa.
And I'm like, the fuck are they talking about? So apparently in 2001, Ashton was going to go on a first date with this young actress, right?
Ooh, yes. I heard about this.
So he shows up to her house and he finds her murdered, dead, right? And so, but what he does, instead of doing what normal human beings would do, instead of calling the police, he calls his team of people and he calls his buddy Danny Masterson. And the girl that was with Danny at the time apparently recorded shit and said, "Look, I found this girl dead, da, 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 da." At the trial for this guy that murdered his date, Ashton apparently lied on the stand and said he did not go into the house.
Right.
Right. So, and he says, yeah, I looked in the front window and I saw stains on the floor that I thought was wine that turned out to be blood. That was bullshit because if you see a diagram of the house, and what window he's talking about looking in compared to the room that the girl was murdered in. There's no way you could see anything.
Wow.
Turns out he went in the house, found her, and then stayed there for like a while, made these phone calls to his people, and then went to the party that him and the girl were supposed to go to together. Still went to the party, had a great time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But he didn't know this girl. It's just like a.
Was it going to be her first? He probably knew her, but it was
Why would
like
he
their
stick
first
around like that? That's so strange.
Yo, why wouldn't he just go, holy shit, this girl got killed. Let me call the police.
Exactly.
And here's why people are up in arms, because of him lying on the stand, and it was some shit was unadmissible or something. This guy ended up killing somebody else. And it turns out he was a serial killer.
Wow.
And there a lot of people are saying that Ashton could have prevented more murders or something like that.
Wow.
But, you know, he invested in Uber. So he's a good dude.
Yeah. Right.
Good guy. I really believe that if people get to a certain point of stardom, that they completely lose touch with reality.
Yeah. They do, yeah.
Yeah, and they get really cringy. Like, how many things have you seen celebrities do? You were like, ugh.
Yeah, don't do that ever again.
If I did that, my buddies would be like, you're a dork.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You're gay. Not in the homosexual way.
Right.
In the dorky way. But yeah, like I was looking through, I was, thumbing through Instagram as I do. And I came across Mark Wahlberg's account.
Oh, geez.
And Mark is doing this thing that's so cringy. It's sweet and I get it, but the way he's doing it is so cringe. So he posts this thing every Sunday. If you scroll down, like if you find anything with a church, it's the most annoying thing. Like keep scrolling. I'll show you. He does this thing right there, the one in the middle where he's standing in the screen. And he does that. He goes every Sunday. He goes, hey, every Sunday. And then he crosses himself, blessed up. What does he say? He goes,
stay prayed up.
God bless, stay prayed up. And it's like trying to B-boy it up,
Yeah.
Stay blessed, stay prayed up. And then walks out and he does it every week in front of a different church or a different statue. There's one where he's kneeling in front of looks like the Virgin Mary. And he gets up, crosses himself, then does prayer hands and bows to it. Then turns and goes, every Sunday, God bless, stay prayed up. It's so hard for me because I get it, it's sweet, but like, stop it.
Yeah.
Don't do it anymore.
Well, didn't you show me one where, what was the one with what he said?
He was with a Muslim guy.
Yeah.
He goes, the mosque on Fridays, and he shakes the dude's hand, and the church on Saturdays. Assalamu alaikum. Mark Wahlberg saying this. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Yo, stay prayed up. He crosses himself. It's the most cringiest thing on the web. It's the most cringiest thing on the web. But yeah.
Stay prayed up.
Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Like this whole thing with, The Rock and Oprah asking poor people to give money to Maui. You see this where they're trying to cancel them? See that, Solomon?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to cancel Oprah Winfrey and The Rock Johnson because they apparently started this fund thing for the victims of the
Maui.
Mm-hmm. Maui burned down. Like Lahaina burnt down.
Right.
That tree that's been around forever, they saved that.
Yeah, I saw.
But
a lot
it's
of it
crazy.
was messed up though. Yeah.
It turns out, I mean, people are going to probably correct me in the comments or whatever, but I don't care. I'm going to tell what I've heard and seen. Turns out that The Rock and Oprah have these incredibly huge properties out there.
Okay.
And they knew the storm was coming and paid something like $10 million to prep their properties for it. Yeah. And then hired security to keep, the riffraff off their property. And then the storm happens and then it destroys everything. And now they're doing this thing where they're like, and they're asking people to donate. These people they're billionaires.
Right.
50 millions are dropping a bucket, And these people are billionaires and they're asking people to donate. We're in a financial crisis again right now.
Right.
It's rough right now for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially in the entertainment industry right now, dude, apparently evictions, I think you told me this. Evictions are at an all-time high in Hollywood because of the writer strike and the actor strike. No one's working.
Wow. Yeah.
So evictions are at this high. So now they're going, and if with your help, we could do that. And we're like, yo, you guys are billionaires. You just do it.
Right. Yeah.
Just fix it.
Yeah.
and you'd still be rich.
Yeah.
And dude, you should see some of the ladies, the people that they're interviewing in Maui. They're like, one of them said to Joe Biden, you can go take that $700 and get back on your fucking bus. Like she's talking like that on the news. Because Biden gave them $700. You know how much he gave Ukraine?
Well, no, to clarify though, that was some kind of max that they could do through FEMA or something like that.
Yeah, but fix that.
Yeah, right.
Because again,
That's not all they got though.
they give millions to people.
So back,
They got more than the 700?
Yeah,
What'd they get?
we can look it up. I don't know.
Knew you didn't know. Solomon Burke. You know who Solomon Burke is?
No.
OG singer. You know who Solomon Burke is, right?
No.
You don't? No. When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone.
Oh, that's
Don't you feel like crying? Oh, don't you feel like crying? That's Solomon Burke. Well, here I am, honey. Come on. Cry to me.
You're a wonderful singer, Jason.
Any Solomons are out there?
Yeah, hit us up.
I'd like to meet another Solomon actually.
I call him the solo man because he runs this whole joint. He runs this whole empire by himself. It's incredible.
Does, yeah.
The solo man.
That's very cool.
You like that? He loves it. I can tell. Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. Black people like it when white people give them nicknames. I've found that to be true.
Where'd that come from? Black people.
I was being facetious.
That's almost.
God damn it.
Almost. Yeah.
Tell me the word
You need a
vocabulary.
speed bump on your lip.
My brother's so much smarter than me, so when I say words wrong, facetious.
Facetious, yeah.
And I don't mean to be facetious. What rap was that?
I don't know.
Oh,
But if it helps you.
Yeah, I have to literally have to recite the entire song to get to the word. And I don't mean to be facetious. Because if I just say it in a sentence, I'm like, Felicia's? Felicia.
You were making me listen to, not making me, I was enjoying the hell out of it, but we were listening to UTFO earlier.
Yes, we were listening to UTFO earlier. Do you remember
Speaking of that.
UTFO? Because you're a Generation Xer. I had the honor and pleasure of meeting and hanging out with and then becoming friends with Kangol, the Kangol Kid. I went to my buddy Russell Peters' house for a barbecue or whatever we were doing. We were having cigars. And I walk in and Russell points at him and goes, "It's Kangol from UTFO." And I was like, oh. And it was amazing meeting him because I think I talked about this on a podcast before. I did an 8th grade art project.
Right.
They wanted us
Right.
to make an album cover, and I used UTFO's debut album cover,
Right.
the one with Roxanne on it. And I told him about it when we were hanging out, and he goes, "Dig it out, bring it to me, and I'll sign it."
Right.
And I was like, "Yes, dude."
To be clear, what we had to do is we had to replicate an album cover in a very specific type of media in this art class, and he picked
weird,
the UTFO.
chalky. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually.
And then he passed. Like a month later, he passed away. I go, "Dude, I hit him up. I messaged him, I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "I got freaking colon cancer."
Oh, geez, just like Pops.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, man," I didn't bring Dad up. I was like, I don't want to be like, the last person I knew that had that was dead. But I was like, "Oh, man, fight the good fight." And the guy looked so young, dude. His son looked him and his son looked like brothers. They did not look like father. Dude, he was in such great shape.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we were talking about that old school stuff. Did you find out how much money they got over there in Maui?
Oh no, I was actually looking for that.
Damn. We don't need to know. It's less than it should be.
less than it should be. We know that. You know.
I'm trying to see if the spaceship actually looks like a spaceship. Museum.
We got a lot of things on the we got a lot of things on the old appointment board. What do we call that?
What's the latest though with Kutcher and that whole thing? And what happens?
You know, they're
now?
just nothing. I don't know if he's going to get in trouble for like contempt or whatever. What is it when you fuck up an investigation? It's like when you interrupt, something that you do impedes the investigation.
Right. Okay. Right.
What is
No,
that called?
I can't remember what that's
Something.
called.
I don't remember what it's called.
I thought it was just impeding an investigation.
Yeah.
But also, what is it called when like we can get you arrested for something in an investigation?
Yeah.
You know, all the cop shows that we watch.
Right.
They say all of that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man, because that's some true. I want to know the story behind the girl and the fucking serial killer and
Yeah,
and like
man.
what. And I want to hear his I want to hear his side of the story. I want to hear Ashton's side of the story. Like, did you really look in there and go, fuck this, and leave? Or did you walk in there and hang out with a dead body for half an hour?
Yeah, that's weird. Like, was he making sandwiches? Like, what's he doing for all that time? Well, I mean, I guess maybe he was panicking. I don't know. But why call? Yeah, why call the people?
Honestly, he was. I mean, what was that? 22 years ago.
Right.
Such a young guy.
Yeah.
Maybe in his young guy brain, he was like, "Can I get blamed for this?"
And if he's at that age, was he already tied up into Scientology at that age?
I don't think he ever was. I think he's got like a connection to it through Danny, but I don't know if he's like a full-on card-carrying, sailor hat wearing member. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he's sucking Miscavige's little tiny penis or not, but.
And are these people the Sea Org? Are they at all even on a boat ever? Do they?
No.
It's just.
It started as that. They had a couple of ships, and that's why they call it Sea Org. But now it's just the name of the organization, and where they're part of it, and they're like
in Riverside,
soldiers in the struggle.
Jeez, that's
no,
weird.
Did you say Riverside? Mm-hmm. Were you joking?
No.
Oh, okay. Because there's a place.
Seeing a thing like it was way over there.
It's out there by Hemet.
Right. Yeah.
They have a headquarters in Hemet. They obviously have the Celebrity Center and a bunch of little buildings out here in LA and Hollywood, and then they have the main headquarters is Clearwater, Florida.
Right. Wasn't one of the big buildings? Wasn't it pink? Like they had a big pink building.
Still is. It's like purple or pink or something.
Why is that?
It's one of them is right across from Upright Citizens.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I did it again. Upside. What is
it? Upside your head. UCB.
Upside Citizens. Upright Citizens Brigade. I never say the full. I just say UCB.
Yeah.
But it's right across from UCB and Sushi Stop.
Right. Remember Veep? Yeah. Remember the funny character Mike, her media guy, with the kind of funny curly hair on the back. He's in all kinds of stuff.
Media guy.
He was like her liaison to the press. Like he was her press secretary. Sorry, he played the press. Anyway, the reason I brought him,
the redhead kind of
with curly hair.
Yeah, he's great.
I bring him up because if I remember correctly, I think he's one of the original like guys who formed UCB.
Oh,
that guy, yeah,
with Amy Poehler in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
cool.
They had a show for a while. Remember? It was a show.
UCB, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that on? Was that Comedy Central?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was back like in the Kids in the Hall days.
Right.
Like that, yeah.
I don't know why I can only think of one sketch that was on there, the ass penny one. Remember? The guy would stick pennies in his ass and then, and then he would put them out into circulation to feel powerful. And this guy, like, I can't remember, like a guy.
Ass pennies in your wallet and you have no idea.
Well, that's the thing. A guy beat him at golf and he felt like, and he was like, you know what? You handle my ass pennies every day. It was hilarious, man. But it was always that kind of weird that more offbeat comedy like the Kids in the Hall.
I always had a problem with like watching too much improv. Those improv groups.
Yeah.
It's a sketch I love. It's written. It's gonna be funny. But like, give us a situation. Give me a
right.
You're driving a car, but you're an undertaker or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Those are weird.
Sometimes they're just bad.
Goofball.
Bad, dude. But yeah, that's the latest and greatest that I'm looking at is this whole Danny Masterson, Ashton Kutcher, Scientology connection.
He's got a brother too, right? Masterson. He's got a brother that does acting.
He was the older brother in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes, that's right, man.
Brent Morin was buddies with him.
Wow. Is he a Scientologist?
They all are. The whole family.
Oh, right. That's right.
It's the whole family. Okay. A lot of these people that were born into it. Their parents were. So a lot of these kids that left it, and they say escape.
Right.
Their parents won't even speak to them. They're like, it's almost like how when the Amish shun you.
Right.
It's the same shit. They're shunned.
Wow. That's a trip. Scientology. That's a made up word too, right? That's well, I mean, guess
L. Ron Hubbard made it up.
Every word's made up at one point. If you think
Good
about
point.
It.
Good point.
Think about how words
are weird. Weird. It's just a noise. Weird. Weird. Weird.
Yeah.
They took noises and then made symbols out of them and just put them together and made fucking words.
By the way, so I'm seeing $12 million in assistance. It sounds paltry.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
12 million? That's how much I got in my wallet right now. I wish. I freaking wish. If I had $12 million, I'd go buy a place. I was going to say I'd go buy a place in Oahu. Maui, Maui's on fire. We don't need no. Too soon?
Yeah.
Too soon? You're right.
I was glad to see they did that banyan tree that's a cool
is that a banyan
memory.
tree?
Yeah.
That's what the kind of tree
I
that
think
is?
it is. It's something like that.
I thought
but
banyan trees were in
you might be
Africa.
right, but it's a large tree. But yeah, that
But
was.
it covers an
memory.
entire park. It's one tree that it covers this entire park, and they have like posts holding up all the branches and shit.
other
It's
parts where
beautiful.
it's gone down and rerouted. And,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Man, I feel so bad for those people. And when I was watching them on television, just upset at Biden and Oprah and The Rock, you know. And The Rock is a Polynesian guy, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played Maui. He was Maui in
What's that? What are you talking about? The Disney thing?
What's the one with that one? No.
Moana.
Yeah, that one. Remember, he was the big. He did the voice.
Yeah. As soon as that comes on my TV, guess what? Moana changed the channel.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it you know, a lot of
one
it
tree.
survived, which
One
is
freaking
great,
tree.
But
Look at all the shops that were across the street. David and I had been in those shops.
you know,
Oh,
yeah,
so
we
sad,
got
so
pictures
sad,
in
so
that
sad.
tree
Yeah.
of us. Yeah,
They're going to rebuild. They always do, but damn it. Oprah, Rock, just give them the money. Just give them the fucking money. Pay for it. No skin off your sack,
yeah.
right?
Call it the Oprah Fund.
He is the highest paid actor. I don't know if he's at $1 billion yet, but last I heard it was like 800 something million is what his worth is.
Rock.
Yeah. And Oprah is a billionaire.
Wow.
Oprah's you get money, you get the money, you get your house fixed. That's what Oprah should be doing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maui! That's my Oprah. Did you like it?
That's good.
Tell the truth. Did you like it? Did you like it, Solomon? I got things that make you go, I wish my buttons were working. We'll get this fixed next time.
Mom's
We'll get
way
this
into
fixed
all
next
that Scientology stuff too, dude.
Oh, Mom's where I got my love for true crime.
Right. She always loved that shit. She
Always.
was reading true crime before it was even a thing to stream.
The first true crime show that I was addicted to was a show called City Confidential.
Yes, because of the guy's voice too.
His voice was so amazing.
Oh man.
A little enclave and somebody on there.
Yeah.
But little did they know it was the birthplace of murder.
Yeah. Every time. I love it.
He used words like enclave and burg.
Right.
He was an actor. He was what was his name? He
can
passed
picture
away
his
and they
face.
replaced him with another actor.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what
he
you're
was in
talking about.
he was in a lot of Latin movies. Like he was in Mambo Kings and stuff like that.
Okay,
But yeah, that was City Confidential was one of mine.
that's a great. You could still watch it. I found it.
Oh yeah, I know that. It used to help me fall asleep.
Right.
Because of the sound of that guy's voice was very soothing, which is hilarious because this guy's soothing me with his voice, but he's saying things like, and stabbed him in the larynx 75,000 times. You
But
know
I
what
would
mean?
love how you always play on it, like it is something from. It would always go down to murder.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Is it Paul Winfield?
it is Paul Winfield.
Let me see him.
Yep, Paul Winfield.
Yeah, and Keith David isn't around anymore either, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, not Paul Winfield. Not Paul Winfield. It was somebody else. Original host. Look up the original host of City Confidential.
That's what I just looked at.
Yeah, because Keith David was the one who took
Maybe
over.
it was Paul Winfield.
Keith
Okay,
David
yeah.
took over. But yeah,
The original narrator was Paul Winfield, who was involved in the show's premiere in 1998 until his death in 2004.
That's it. Yep.
Replaced by Keith David.
Paul Winfield. He was
he was so good. At
great voice, but
Like if it was a chef that got cooking up a recipe for murder, he was always doing
and his
that.
voice was so soothing. I would just knock out to him going, and then the perpetrator ate her brains for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Cling, cling, cling.
Dude, speaking of true crime, I was just watching this TV. What was it? Oh, what the hell was I just watching? And the scene was a victim was at the hospital that didn't die, and these people needed that person to be dead, so they had a police officer guarding the door. The actor that played the police officer was the guy that we did jujitsu with. That black actor, and then he ended up going to prison for murder.
Yes, he was also in.
What's his name? Michael something.
He was in a show where he was
a
in
cop.
The Shield.
The Shield. It
or
might have
something
been
like
the Shield,
that?
but he played a police officer.
Right.
But he was. What the heck was I just watching? Dude, this is why I don't like watching too many things at once, because it
lose
all gets
track,
jumbled in
yeah.
my head. But this this was really good. What was it? Damn it. But anyways, he was in that, and I remember going, oh, that guy up there, Michael Jace. See him?
Right. That's
That
right.
dude. Look,
That's right.
Read his.
I armbarred him.
Read his Wikipedia, dude. He went to prison for murder, and we grappled with him. We could have been a victim of his. Man, that got me a lot of views, huh, guys? I could have gone viral, huh, guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just saw that, and it just popped in my head. Holy shit, we used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with that guy. He would come to the school that we owned, and we would just privately like grapple and stuff. And then that guy ended up. Who did he kill? Like his wife or girlfriend or something?
Again, I lose track.
Michael Jace, that's his name.
Yeah.
Michael Jace. Anyways, this has been fun. I think I talked a little too much, but whatever. I don't care. I get passionate about the things I love.
Yeah,
okay? Sue me.
crime.
Sue me. All right?
Sasumi.
Sounds like a sushi dish.
Oh, that's that Will Arnett joke.
Sashimi?
He always says, Will Arnett goes, I like sushi. Sashimi.
So dumb, but I love it.
That guy's great with the puns.
Oh, yeah. So I heard the best joke. So there was a comedian named AJ Johnson. This guy he passed away, but he's freaking hilarious. Remember the movie Friday?
Yes.
Remember the crackhead dude that was walking down the street?
Mm-hmm.
He saw Chris Tucker taking a shit. He goes, don't tell nobody you saw him back here. He goes, hey, he back here taking a shit. That actor, he's also a stand-up comic. I heard, sometimes I think I find the perfect joke. It's not the funniest joke.
Right.
But it's like, what a perfect joke.
Right.
And his joke goes all in the episode on his joke. He says, so I went to church the other day, and after the service, I told the pastor, I said, dang, pastor, that was a damn good service. Pastor said, hey, thank you, son, but don't use that disrespectful language in the house of God. He goes, pastor, I'm just letting you know, that was a damn good service. He goes, again, I'm going to tell you one more time, don't use that language in the house of God. It's disrespectful. He goes, nah, but seriously, pastor, that service was so damn good. I put $1,500 in the basket. And the preacher goes, you bullshitting. With that, thank you so much for staying in this with us, guys. Again, don't forget to rate review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating. Give us a review. Maybe we'll fucking read it here on the episode. Remember, I used to do that on the line.
Yes.
If you want to look at us, go to YouTube, the Unidentical Pod. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know what's coming at you. More good things coming in the future, coming soon, merch coming soon, all that stuff. Thank you guys again so much. Say bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.